G'day legends, Crypto Bogan here. Today's video is probably one of the most important videos that I will make, if not the most important. It's surviving the bull market. Now, surviving the bear market is not that hard because all you have to do is do nothing most of the time. If you've held your bags too long, you have to hold them sometimes, and if you are out, you just got to wait to buy back in. Surviving the bull market is a completely different animal. I know this from experience, so everything I'm talking about is from experience. The last two bull markets, the first one I came in, that's when I started. I started at the end of the 2017-18-ish bull market, whenever that finished there. And I came in at the top, and I was watching my portfolio every couple of hours. I thought I was a genius because I'd put in, I can't remember back then, at that specific time, 1500 to 2000 or something, and I was just watching it grow a couple of $100 every couple of hours. And I felt awesome. I thought I was awesome. I thought I knew what I was doing. By the end of that bull cycle, which finished not that long after I was in it, unfortunately, because that's when I found out about it, as a lot of retail customers, normal customers do, who aren't, savvy real investors. By the end of that, I had given all those gains back, plus more, and I'd been scammed twice. Three times. Probably three times. There was a big lot of scams that no one sort of knew about at the time, and they all unraveled at the end of that that bull market. They were like the upside down pyramid type schemes where they were paying people out and with other people's money that was coming in, and then eventually it collapses. So I was involved in a couple of those. So at the time, I was a bit younger, and I lost about $5,000, which to me was a lot of money. It was all the money that I had saved up at the time, so a lot of money. Just letting you know, this will probably be quite a long video. It might be the longest video I do, I'm not sure, but it's a very important video. So, first bull market that I was a part of, I walked away with, at the end of it, I was that down on myself about the decisions I'd made, that all I had left was a couple of Ethereum, which I did buy just after once everything had collapsed. And so, strangely enough, going into the next bull market, the only thing I kept was 2 or 3 Ethereum. One of them purchased for like $250 or $256, I think, off the top of my head. So, because I just remember that and going later, selling it for like 4,000 or 5,000 Australian, and going, I was back to being a genius again. Anyway, so all I walked out of that bull market with was a couple of Ethereum, which at the time was devastating. Turned out to be not too bad. I got that money back in the next bull market. The next bull market awoke because obviously I didn't know what I was doing, and I just every once in a while checked on these Ethereum, decided I'd rather they go to zero, because I decided Ethereum, if crypto was going to work, which I wasn't sure it was at that time, if crypto was going to work, Ethereum was like the base layer things had to be built on. That's all I decided, and I'm like, okay, so if it's going to work, this Ethereum thing has to survive. So that's how I'll go. And anyway, it was Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or something like that, and my brother rings me up, who was also in crypto at the time. He's the one who got me into it, and he said, have you checked on your Ethereum? I said, oh no, I haven't checked, a couple of months now. He said, they're on the move. And they'd only just started moving. And they went from that 250 to 1,500, just like that. It was like a day or 2 days, I can't remember, but it was really quick. I was like, okay, right, crypto's back. It's going to survive. And so I looked back into it again. And then I kept going. And I did lots of listening to things. I did lots of reading of things last bull market. I worked out that I learnt about the 4-year cycle, the Bitcoin halving cycle. I did all the stuff to make sure I survived this time. And I turned like 8 or 9,000 into like 30,000 type of thing. But yet again, I ended up back down at about 13,000 by the time the end of the bull market happened, because I had set goals that were time based, and because I wasn't ready to change, I wasn't quick enough to change. In crypto, you have to be fast and reactive at the same time when it comes to the market going down in a bull market. So I invested safely the next time. I invested in Ethereum, a bit of Bitcoin, not too much because I always don't, because I'm like, oh, it's the thing that moves quite slow, even though it's quite safe. Polygon. What else did I invest? I invested in Bitcoins, Solana, Avalanche, all those type of things, bigger coins. So I managed to, like 3 or 4x my account and got it right up there. Was feeling good about it. Now, I did have goals set. The only problem was I had them set too late. Now, in January is when the 4-year cycle finished the time before. So, and it was like the end of January in 2017, 18. And I looked at it and went, okay, well, I'll bail out, about the 12th of January. The only problem was the bull market finished in the November, sort of end of November, the year before it. So the bull market finished early. Now, it finished because of a black swan event. That's unforeseeable, but the problem was I didn't adjust to that. So there was, there's flies around here. So it's a hot day out here in Australia. Anyway, so I didn't adjust fast enough, and I did ended up withdrawing money, and I finished ahead, which was nice, but it was not at anywhere near the top of my portfolio. And the reason I'm telling you this is because that's literally what happens to 90% of people. 90% of people finish their first couple of bull markets like I did, or worse. I finished in profit, luckily for the 2 bull markets. If I add them together, I ended up finishing like 6,000 ahead, because the money that I had in that 8 or 9 included the 2 ETH, and I included the 5,000 some from the year before, so I really only added about 4,000. So the first thing I want to tell you is, if you get on and you're listening to influencers, take what they say with a grain of salt, including what I say. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt. Everyone is predicting that the bull market will finish next year in November. Take that with a grain of salt, because if it finishes earlier, if there's a black swan, something happens, you're one of the ones who's left holding the bag if that's what you hold on to. Now, that's what I held on to last time, because it was supposed to finish in January. And I was like, okay. And I'm not putting down Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, but he's the person. I was like, yeah, he's the guy. He knows. I'll listen to him. He's saying that it's going to finish in January, like the end of January. So I will bail out, 10th or 12th of January. I'll be early. So that was a great plan. Then, when we were towards the bottom and I'd added other YouTube people that I listened to, as well as my own research, not reading white papers, I've said that before, but all the things that I was reading and listening to, the bottom of the market, now the bottom of the bear market, they were looking and saying, okay, we think that Bitcoin's going to get down to 9,000. Now, I didn't know whether that was true or not. And as by now I'd started to learn, take things with a grain of salt. So I went, it sat at 15,500 for a day or two, and I went, right, I reckon if it drops to 14,000, I'm going to buy back in. That's when I'm going to buy back in. That's when I think the bottom. I said, I'll say to myself, if 14 comes, I'm happy to take that. If it goes down to 9, it doesn't matter. Eventually it'll go back up. It might take me a year to feel better about myself if I put in a 14 and it goes down to 9 or 8. But that's what I'm prepared to do. Well, my thesis was off again. because that 15.5, that was the bottom. So I never got to buy in at that price. Lucky for me, it sat around that 16.5, 17 for a while, and I decided, all right, well, I'd rather have got it at the price that I had. I'll wait and see. If it moves up to 20,000, I think that was the bottom, and I'll buy in then. So I did. I bought in. I put about 50% of my money back in at 20,000, or a third of it, or something like that. And I made that plan and I stuck with it. So I was pretty happy about that. Lots of influencers were saying, and still saying, there's a couple of bigger influencers as far as they're in the stock market and that, and they're saying, they're still 80% in fiat, which is cash for people that are not investors. Excuse me a second. Right. So what my plan is now is, right, so they're saying that November in next year is when they're going to, they reckon the top of the bull market is. So learning from what I've learnt, right, it didn't go as high as or higher as long as they expected last time, and it didn't go as low as they expected in the bull market, the bear market last time. So my plan is actually to bail out months earlier. I am looking at, and so I'm happy to tell people my plan. So my plan is to be just about all out by June, July of 2025. I plan to start selling percentage-wise, like I say 20% probably. I'm looking at around 100,000 if it doesn't come before the end of the Australian financial year, which is June the 30th this year. Just because I bought in roughly, I think the 1st of July or something like that, is when I started buying, so that I don't get capital gains tax. Here in Australia we have to pay capital gains on our crypto. So just know that if you're Australian, that if you sell it in under a year, you will be paying twice as much tax. You get a 50% discount in Australia if you wait for over a year. Right, so that's what I plan on doing. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because if you're watching my channel, if you're watching other YouTubers, chances are you're not an investing genius. Chances are that you're just some guy, and dare I say without insulting you, you're some idiot, or lady, sorry, I don't mean to just not insult the guys, I can insult the women as well. You're just some person who's heard from, you've seen it on the news, or you've heard your mates talking about it, and now you want to go and invest in crypto. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you, you're late. The party's not over, but the party's definitely started to wind up. All right, you've just turned up, and everyone's already all sweaty, and you haven't been dancing, and it's a bit uncomfortable. That's the point of the party you're coming in at, all right? Second of all, everyone in crypto is here to dump on you, including me, right? I'm a nice person, but the thing is, I still want to make money. So although it's not a personal attack on you, if you're the person that's in a coin that I'm holding and you're holding at the same time, and I sell it, that affects you, right? The thing about crypto is everyone seems to think that we're part of a team together, and the reason that comes about is the tribalism of the coins. If you see someone who likes Solana or likes Ethereum, likes Bitcoin, whatever the coin is that you like, you all of a sudden you've got that in common with them, and you feel, you see them defending it. XRP is a good example. There's lots of people that crap all over XRP, and then there's all the ones that defend it. Now they all sort of, oh yeah, we're together. It's just like you're barracking for a football team together. You're not. That other bloke that's defending it, he's just hoping it goes higher so he can sell his bags. Right? It's the way I like to think of it is, anyone watch that in Australia, America, wherever you are, there's that stupid Survivor show. My missus watches it and I cannot stand it because I'm not a person that likes backstabbing or anything like that. Crypto is exactly like Survivor. It's who can keep their coins long enough. It's a giant game of chicken. You know, who can sell their coins out at the best price. If you think you're going to pick the top of the market, you're wrong. I guarantee you, there's one person that picks the top of the market, and that's the person that sells it at the best price, because there's only one person that does that, and they're probably a big entity. So you need to make it a choice of what you're going to do. Don't be the last person in Survivor that gets stabbed in the back by your mate who you thought was your mate, and now you've got no you've got no money left. You're holding all the coins, and now you've got to go through the next bear market holding them. It's not a great feeling. I held some a little bit long. They'd gone down far enough that I didn't care anymore. And all you wonder for the next 2 to 3 years is that project going to survive? You don't want to be part of that feeling. Sell your coins, do incremental selling, make a plan, stick with your plan. You should write it down. Do as I say, not as I do, because I don't write things down or anything ever. But I have it in here. I know what I'm going to do. I've been doing this long enough that I will make money. Just for proof there, I've already, 4 or 5x'd my whole account overall. That's another thing. Don't check your account often, because you're going to think you're a genius. Go by your planning. If you're going to sell it at a certain time, do that. So for me, as I said, Bitcoin at 100,000 US. That's when I look. The only reason I look in there is to see if there's another coin that's popped off and I need to sell it, because it's hit one of the targets that I had set for it. Anyway, this really is a video that needs to get out. Share it with people. It does show my backstory a bit. It shows exactly why I'm doing this, because I don't want other people to go through what I went through, to be in crypto for like 6-7 years. What is it? Yeah, 7 years. And they say that no one makes money on their first or possibly even their second cycle. That is what's happened to me. I mean, I made a little bit of money. It's not enough to change the world. Not even close, really, but I was happy to come out ahead. But the thing is, yeah, if I can help you avoid that and you can make money in your first cycle, that means you'll have learnt something. That's the other thing. Learn every day. If you can spend 20 minutes a day watching someone, listening, reading, go on, the coin websites, go on there and read for 20 minutes. You need to learn something every day about the projects that you're invested in. The other thing is, some of the projects you're investing in, meme coins and that, which I've never been real fond of meme coins. They're community driven. So if you're a person that says, oh, I'm not interested in meme coins, the reason they grow so fast is because of that whole community feeling, as we were talking about before. Get into that if you want to. Get into the community feeling, but make sure you sell as soon as you can. Say if you put in $200, right? As soon as it doubles to 400, draw your 200 out and then just play with the bank's money. That would be a great idea with any meme coin you've got. All right? So just get into them early. Don't get into them late. The people that are in late are going to be the ones who end up in trouble there. Yeah. So I guess this video was just a work out how to survive. Learn from other people. Go and look up other people's stories of if they have a history of how they've gone in previous bull markets. They're not fun sometimes. They really aren't, because you're constantly feeling like that when it's up, you're a genius, and when it's down, why didn't I sell? And that's something to be very, very careful of. All right, well, it's a public holiday here, and I've actually taken this week off because my anniversary is this week. I will be married for 14 years in 2 days. And where I'm going, up back at the work caravan site, taking the family up there, is very, very bad reception. So if I do put any videos out, they'll probably just have to be shorts, because I did one 8-minute one while I was up there, and it took me like 3 or 4 goes to upload it, and it took like hours, and every time the phone closed over it wanted to restart it. It was really bad. Alright, so I will be away, but I'm about to do another video straight after this one, which I'll probably upload tomorrow, just to it'll be a bit shorter. It'll be about a tax, especially in Australia, whether you have to pay your tax. Just a hint, the answer is yes. Alright. But I'll also show you an Australian website which makes it easier to do it. You know, you have to pay for it, but it's you know, you can claim it back on your tax, as it were. Alright, so have a great day. Do something nice for someone else. Just as I'm doing these videos, they're free. So I'm doing something nice for you if you've watched to the end. Could you like the video? Send it to your mates. This, as I said, important video. This is one that really shows how dangerous and how much attention you've got to be paying. Alright, Crypto Bogan out.